Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another Spy Party Competitive League cast. This is a big one today. We got the Platinum Finals, and we got ourselves two excellent casters. Warning Trek, soon to be actual procaster, maybe, and winner.
I'm,
Not sure
I'm
if
an
I'm
okay,
supposed
I'm
to
an
say
okay
that.
caster. Track is the one that pulls the heavyweight.
Wodar
Yeah.
has more fun than I do every single time, so I'm at least moderately envious. And yes, we're very excited to be here. These are indeed the Platinum Finals. The winner, there's something at stake here. Let's point out there's a new SCL postseason. I guess I'll just launch into this, right? Let's talk about the new SCL postseason a little bit. Previously, the top two players in Diamond each season play each other in a championship match, and that determines the winner. So you know going into each season that the champion is going to come from Diamond. You have it narrowed down right off the bat. This season, we're doing something a little bit different. In the Masters circuit, which is Gold, Platinum, and Diamond, the top three divisions, technically anyone from those divisions could win the championship because we use those divisions to seed a small postseason tournament. The top three people in Diamond, the top two in Platinum, here they are, Lazybear and Ryooo, and the winner of Gold go into a postseason tournament with buys and seeding and things like that. And the winner, the champion, can emerge from there. This is not that. There's a weird little quirk where because the top two players in Platinum play a championship match, and because the top two players in Platinum go into the tournament, they play each other back to back in the postseason. This is the first of those matches. So what's at stake today is not the league championship this season. That will be their next match. What's at stake here is a guaranteed spot in Diamond. The winner today is guaranteed a spot in Diamond. The loser has some other ways to get in anyway through drops or the hazard match, but the winner today is guaranteed in Diamond. And if they make it, they will be just the 15th person to ever play in it. So there is still a lot at stake here. The question is, which do these players value more? Do they want that guaranteed spot in Diamond, or do they want to hold back on some of their strategies and some of their tech for the match they're going to play again, probably within a week, for the right to advance to the semifinals in the postseason? I don't know, Wodar. How would you approach that? Which would you favor more?
Man, I feel like I need like a whiteboard for explaining how this all works.
A flowchart?
I mean, I feel like you just try your best every time. Like if you have, this is like a perfect opportunity to test out your strats because you can always just evolve the strats afterwards, right? Like you can use the fact that they know about it to then bring it up one more level.
Play against it almost. Yes.
This isn't even my final form.
This isn't even my final form. Yeah. Although with Lazybear and the Shark strats that we saw earlier this season, I don't know if there's anywhere to go. They either work or they don't. And Ryooo obviously feels the same way because let's get into those picks and bans. You're not going to believe this. Ryooo has done what everyone else does against Lazybear, which is ban Aquarium. He actually banned. Wait, do we have those backwards, or did Lazybear ban Aquarium himself?
Whoops, I believe we do have those.
I was going to say, because Lazybear has banned Ballroom twice against Ryooo already, and he's going to do it a third time here. No surprise there. There we go. Yes. Ryooo banned Redwoods and restricted Aquarium the first time they played, and after seeing what the Shark did to poor Opie Rights in Platinum, flipped those and banned Aquarium and restricted Redwoods their second meeting where they drew, by the way. Lazybear won 75 in their first meeting. They drew 6-6 in their second. Ryoo's going to go back to that second match where he had a slightly better outcome and do the same thing, banning Aquarium and restricting Redwoods. Lazybear is going to ban Ballroom again. He's not going to restrict Courtyard, though, which he did the previous two times against Ryooo. He's going to restrict Terrace because Ryooo doubled that last time. The real surprise here, though, looking at this, Ryooo doubling Gallery. These two have not played Gallery at all. That's not been picked or doubled by either of them this season. I'm looking at the stats a little bit here, and as far as I can tell, it's probably got something to do with the fact that Lazybear is about 50-50 on Sniper on Gallery, so I think Ryoo's thinking that is a potential point of weakness where he might be able to come away with at least a split. You can see he's also picking Terrace and Modern, and yes, that's not a mistake. You pick another single venue in the championship match. It is otherwise the same. Lazybear, on the other hand, has doubled high rise.
It is a 1st to 9. So that's...
And there is a sudden death if they tie at 8. It is not. It is not tie goes to the winner as it has been in previous postseason matches.
Please get us to sudden death.
We'll see.
We will probably just end the stream if sudden death happens. It's better than explaining how it works.
Sudden death refers to the stream suddenly dying because we can't handle it. Lazybear doubles high rise, which he has done quite a bit. And yes, he does buy into the restrict meta and says, well, if you're going to restrict it, I'm going to pick it. And he does pick Tayen. So one occlusion venue banned outright, one is restricted. Lazybear takes as much of the occlusion venue option as he can with what remains. You could see that this is Lazybear's style. He likes to play mind games. He likes to slow play. They both do, as a matter of fact. So these might be some long spy games. I am just about ready whenever you gentlemen are.
Yep.
I am too.
I am totally ready as well. Let's get into it. We got some gallery going on here. It is already started. I believe we got the first spy here. Actually, we're on the. Are you both on the hit? Okay to start.
I'm
Yep.
ready to go. It looks like Lazybear is Kane on gallery. Yes.
Yep,
Mhm.
that is correct.
All right, we are getting underway here in the Platinum Championship between Lazybear and Ryooo in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We are off. And the first thing to note about this game is that these players, Lazybear and Ryooo, they're not just first and second in Platinum. They're first and second in green AT rate this season. 1 and 2,
Jeez.
61.4% to 61.2%. And Lazybear, perfect timing, making me look smarter than I am, with a green test immediately at Windows and Gallery with a seduction target one of the twins. Very good. Walks by a case they may have been obligated to take, by the way, but the cooldown's already expired and there's 3.5 minutes on Gallery. This is a quick start. That doesn't make me look as smart because I was talking about Lazybear slow playing. I still think they might, though, in terms of the really, really difficult missions. Where it looks like we're going to head right back outside, potentially,
Ooh,
to get a
what
flirt.
a bug. What a bug.
That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We go perpendicular at exactly the right time, and this is a good character for it. However, Ryooo knows that those bugs are potentially dangerous. How's Lazybear going to play this now? I think you have to play it as if you got away with this. Clean.
Yeah. You just somehow try to finish your flirts on this map that's not great for it, and somehow try to get a BB. Yeah, on this map, not great
there
for
it is.
it.
Well, there's a white test, 85%, so we
Oh.
made a lot of flirt progress early on Gallery. It doesn't look like Lazybear is going to have any trouble finishing here. The real question is that bug suspected by Ryooo so that he'll shoot for something like inspects? Does Lazybear want to risk those inspects and give him a way out? There's a contact, it's a green, that's going to knock out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And by the way, Ryooo, 6. There were 6 possible lowlights. Ryooo got every single one of them, and highlights for a reel out front because an SDA was out. Really, really good sniping from Ryooo. That was perfect.
Very good. The camera movement and camera zoom tells me that they might not be suspecting the bug. They were definitely very focused on the inside CC, like almost everyone is.
Seduction canceled. Seduction canceled as we try to finish up the flirt. That's a little rough right there. And the party is fairly narrowed down. 6 lowlights, I would say, a little above average because Ryooo got them all. But more than that, the real BB highlights are huge. Now, if we try to finish with rote statue visits, anything other than early in this game, I think we might be able to get shot just for that. Lazybear wants to get the flirt done before anything else. They're not committing themselves to any statue visits yet. They're going to stand far away from their seduction target because they can. Any flirt will do. They only need 15%. They're waiting a few seconds here. We're being zoomed in on. I think we're a little worried about that ambassador still, but they're in bookshelves. There's the flirt. We're done. 3 missions done. 100 seconds left on the clock. And do we want to purloin now and dare them to shoot? I don't think we know that it's this narrowed down with the highlights. We're going to leave the conversation. Is it just going to be statue to statue for the win? That's the question. It looks like we're waiting for these statues to clear up because there are 3 people at them right now. 2 of them are lowlights. Best thing we can do is go after Queen here at least. Could we just swap instead? We're back facing. That increases the likelihood of a swap. But we could just go statue to statue instead. Wheels takes the statue across from us. We're going to immediately swap. We're going to immediately swap. Ryu zooming in. He's trying to get a look at it. Can't see it. Can't see it. It's barely on screen. Barely on screen. Shot in the head just in time. Lazybear does the aggressive thing, says it's too early to shoot, but it isn't because Ryu had the real contact highlights.
Ding, dang, 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 dang.
That was excellent. Excellent. I don't think there's any way Ryu can shoot there confidently that early if he doesn't have the party so narrowed down. I think he missed the bug, but he played the contact perfect. Not only did he get every low light possible, but he noticed the SDA was out, highlight for real contact, and it worked out beautifully. That was such a good game by Lazybear and an even better sniper game by Ryu.
Yeah, that like knowing that a swap is very possible to happen right there, and like you saw like the dedication they put into seeing that statue before 10 seconds is up.
Wow. Yeah. That is really good stuff. And I think if it happens even 20 or 30 seconds earlier, it's that much harder to shoot for. Purloin might have been safer, I don't know, but I think Lazybear played a really solid game and just got countered by some excellent sniping. Now, I mentioned Lazybear, only about 50-50 on Gallery in their SCL career. That might be why Ryu doubled it. Let's see. Ryu playing his green dress on Gallery, up 1-0 already in the Plat Finals in 3, 2, 1. Playing it for those who are coming in a little bit late. This is for a guaranteed spot in Diamond. This is not the postseason match. That will happen again between these 2 players, probably within a week or so. That one matters. Some would say more, some would say less. You can make a good argument either way, but the winner today is guaranteed to be the 15th player to ever enter Diamond. And that includes 3 who played briefly in the first season when the league was in a very different nascent form. So you could say it's more like a dozen in the modern sense, but either way, it's an exclusive club that I don't think you want to be into. But one of these players is going to end up in there, whether they want to or not. That's another green flirt, by the way. That's another thing I'll mention again for people who came in late. These two players, 1 and 2 in the SCL in green AT rate, and both of them start off their gallery games with a green flirt. How appropriate. Ryooo is going to go to statues early here. Risk the highlight, I think.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. Yep.
Makes it a lot easier to do something after you BB for like getting the other inspects.
Yeah. Ryoo's moving fast and furious here. Flirt is half done, inspect half done effectively. And we're not going to chase our seduction target out front, though. We're going to join with the double agent. I guess we're going to want to contact before. We don't want to do it now because the SDA has left the conversation. That's Wheels. Of course, the spy does not know that. This would actually be a very bad time. It would allow Lazybear to do the exact same thing Ryooo did if they were on it. And there are a lot of highlights out of conversation as well. I don't think you want this yet. This might have been a decent plan, but you can't do it now. Also,
7 people outside.
Yeah, not good at all. More people visiting statues. I don't think Ryooo can do this now, and I think they realize that they're just idling out front, unfortunately. By the way, the real DA, Smallman. You don't see that often. Letting Smallman be cast by default. I think we're obligated to take this case. Nope, we're beat to it by the twin. I don't know if we're fishing for a low light or not, but we don't get it, and we don't get the print either. We do join with our seduction target, though we're across from them. We're not going to be able to two-flirt here, and we might need a green to have a chance at a 3, but the highlights are getting a little out of control. That's a white test, 72%, but it is good enough. That means a close white flirt will get it done. There are 2 minutes left on the clock and no missions done, but the party is spiraling a little out of control here for Lazybear.
Track, do you think it would be too insane to assume that the Smallman was the fake DA?
No, I absolutely have won and lost games assuming that, because who would do that? We go for a difficult fingerprint in the green bookshelf, and it is a green test as well, and we have that print. I don't know if we're credited or not. That's a big question for every sniper. How do you handle difficult prints? Do you ignore them entirely, count them entirely, or do you go case by case? Either way, it's the first print is a difficult one, which I think is a little harder to compensate for. We are going to join with our seduction target again here and try to finish this flirt. 90 seconds left on the clock. The seduce is done, fingerprints half done, inspects half done. We still have the contact. Double agent is still out front, by the way. His return to that same conversation. That could be very, very inconvenient. The small man could be a big problem very, very soon. We're going to have to finish inspects at some point, too. We've rejected a drink, so we keep our hands free. I don't think we can wait much longer, though. We've rejected the drink. We're still standing there. I'm not sure. I think we're waiting for this ambassador to maybe to put this book back or pick up a book or leave a print anywhere for that matter.
Yeah.
They are picking the book up. We're going to go try to finish inspects in the meantime, and I got to imagine we're going to go to blue bookshelves right after this and hope that the double agent leaves. Here's the fingerprint. Fingerprint done. We don't need the blue book. We let the fingerprint cook a little bit. We finish inspects. We finish fingerprint, and if we're not caught for that first fingerprint, then Ryooo is in really good shape. I think that might have been a flash on the spy, though. A contact might get a shot, but Ryoo's going to chance it. We're heading outside. There's 45 seconds left. If the DA leaves, we're in big trouble. DA's still there. We join. We immediately green, and we immediately get shot. Lazybear is all over those prints. Sniper play outrageous through the first 2 games. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you expect that shot to come off, let alone that quick?
I mean, after the flash, I expected it to come as soon as the BB happens, but not really. I mean, like, maybe I'm like too down on gallery, but it felt a lot like oh, they finished inspects and they may probably finish fingerprints, so let's just shoot for the BB.
Well, catching that fingerprint, so they might have just credited a second print. It's not unreasonable. Yeah. I've said this before. It's not unreasonable to catch one print late in the game and assume that you missed one earlier. And in this case, it was a difficult at bookshelf, so it would have been a very easy thing to miss. 2 of the impressive things about that, though, that was an immediate green on entering conversation. It would be very tempting as a sniper watching that closely to say, wow, they would have had to enter and immediately nail that AT. But that's exactly what happened, and Lazybear did not even hesitate. Yeah, Spies played 2 excellent games and lose twice on gallery so far.
Yeah, I mean, like with these 2, you expect a green, right?
I guess so. Yeah, again, it happens more often than not. 61% for both of them on the green rate. It hasn't helped them yet, though. Spies are 0 for 2. Snipers 2-0. Lazybear's going to try again. Playing as one of the slowest characters and one of the longest venues. This should be interesting. Lazybear is orange dress in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Wow, those are some really good sniper games. Those were 2 good spy games. If you showed me those spy games, I would say both of them very, very likely to win on gallery, but neither of them did. Question is, what was caught specifically? Was it the prints? Was it the timing? How much was credited? How confident were they when they took that shot? Lazybear looked confident indeed. And now they're out front, and their seduction target joins with them, and we're just close enough that the green gets us to 49. Spies are 3 for 3 on those initial green flirts. The AT rates, man, they help, especially on gallery. If you can 2-flirt on gallery, the game opens up to you quite a bit. Early statue highlights coming out from Ryooo, it looks like, and there's a couple of them already. Yeah. And it looks like we're just going to timer flirt here. Nope, probably not now that the seduction target has left. My guess is we were going to twitch closer, though, if they'd stayed.
Yep. I was a bit curious, and I looked it up. Snipers have like a 60% win rate on Gallery in Platinum in this season.
That's not that high. That's
Oh,
not as high as you expect, especially because spy win rates in general in Platinum this season were way, way down.
yeah.
Sniping in Platinum was ridiculous this season. Lazybear, in fact, the only spy in Platinum to finish over 40% with 45% spy victories. Everyone else high 30s or lower. That tells you how brutal Platinum was on the sniper side.
Oh,
Very, very tough.
excuse me, I was reading the stat wrong. It's actually 76% Sniper for Platinum.
That
Oh
makes a
my
lot more
God.
sense. That makes a lot more sense to me.
Oof.
Yep, and that's pretty darn good. That's pretty good. And there's some good spies at Platinum too. Platinum in general has just been ridiculous. By the way, we tried to flirt again, and it's canceled because we tried to do it at painting pads, which is always treacherous. It was going to be a white anyway, so we weren't going to finish. So that helps at least a little bit. We're going to join somewhat across from our seduction target here, and Kane is being flashed on by Ryooo already. This is big, big trouble. I think he's suspected for the bug, and he's already got an early inspect in. I don't think Lazybear can know this exactly, but if they do, there are a lot of ways to win this. We hit the white on the second seduce, gets up to 69%. So a close white will get it done at the end. We're going to reject the drink again. Neither spy seems at all interested in purloin these games, but maybe they should mix it up because nothing else has been working so far.
Yeah,
Gonna keep an eye on Kane, though.
especially with a 60% green rate. Like, you can actually... Purloin becomes a reasonable mission when you can bank on green testing it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that, for sure. Both spies, by the way, snipers rather, do win the majority of games in which their opponent green purloins. They win close to 60% each. That's actually pretty good, but it does indicate a slight vulnerability there. If you pick a good timing, pick a good chain, jump into the right spot. But that's not bad actually, because it's very easy to lose to green purloins. But at higher levels, you can see you win most of them.
That tells me more that like it's not just about getting the green. You have to like get the right situation for the green to actually be good.
Yeah, definitely at a high level, certainly. It's much more powerful. By the way, we've swapped. We've gone back-facing to swap while we were talking about the green. And this is about to be narrowed down. Here come the lowlights. Here come the lowlights. Faking the green swap summon. Who's it from? It's from Boots. We're trying to frame Boots. The lowlights are way down. Do we have this correct? And it works! Boots is shot. Lazybear bets the game on a fake green swap. Ryooo buys into it. Lazybear pulls ahead. First spy win after 2 really sharp sniper games.
The 24%.
There it is. That's good enough. That's the kind of match we're looking at here. We saw the snipers win those first 2 games, and you can see why the sniper win rate has been so high in Platinum. But in this case, Lazybear says, I'm going to pick a character that almost nobody would pick on Gallery. I'm going to fish for lowlights. I'm going to redirect off briefcases. I'm going to fake a swap summon. I'm going to pick my moments. That's not a green purloin, but it's the same idea, right? You bet your game kind of waiting on that, waiting for that opportunity. That is an active, aggressive frame, and it works. Lazybear's up 2-1. Ryooo now needs to answer. And look at this. The other slowest character, it's White Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Wonder if Ryooo has the same kind of plan here. You can mission complete, absolutely, with slow characters. It's just much, much harder.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like a frame after a frame usually doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's at top of mind there, certainly. But then again, is that exactly why it would work? We green flirt at windows here with the general, but we're not quite close enough. That is a difficult pixel to miss, 48%. That could hurt us with a slow character and on Gallery. A lot of other venues, I'd barely remark on it, but in this one, it's easy to imagine that rippling throughout the game and costing us the game and maybe the match and maybe the spot and diamond with it. Stay tuned. We'll see. Seduction target goes for a briefcase in the meantime. But we're going to knock them out immediately with a green BB. And oh, here we go again. The SDA is out. The SDA is out. We've purloined in the meantime, though, and it is a green. It's a green. We finally purloined. It's a green BB, green purloin, and they timed it pretty well.
Don't take it.
The reject was noticed. Kane rejects as well. That's really big because I do think Lazybear saw the reject at the very end, and they are actually low-lighting all but the highlights out front. They're assuming real to a degree, except for the statue visitors. Very interesting. Is the purloin going to come off? A cast member is going to take it, and it's going to be behind Green Dress's head. It doesn't matter. More lowlights come out. Now everyone out front is gone. Is this narrowed down? Does he have Ryooo for it or not? We know Kane rejected. White Dress and Kane rejected, and Kane has left. That helps a lot. Green Dress takes a drink after, rather. 2.5 minutes left. We are all the way out front, and we have a book. Those are 2 alibis as far as the spy and sniper might be concerned. And I'm not sure from Lazybear's laser movement whether or not they actually have this narrowed down more than the lights would suggest. There are still 8 people in the party. 1 highlight, that's Green Dress for a statue visit. And I think Lazybear, based on how they're looking back there, really thinks that purloin came from the people still inside the venue. 96% in the flirt in the meantime. I think we might have gotten away with this. Are we going to try to bug? We are going to try to bug, and it's on screen. Lazybear catches it, zooms out just in time. I think we mostly got away with that purloin, but we took an impulsive bug perhaps, and it cost us. Let's see the timing of this leave. Do we leave exactly when the AMBA does? Are we trying to bug? Yes, that was the plan, actually. That was not impulsive. That was planned. We just didn't do it right, and Lazybear was all over it. Maybe thinking Lazybear will not be looking for a second hardtail with the purloin already showing, but I think our odds were better there without it.
Rather than not doing right, the Ember kind of did a movement we weren't expecting.
Yeah, well, that's part of the risk, isn't it? Especially with a slow character against a fast one. You had a very narrow window, and it's actually a little impressive that took. Ryooo timed it pretty well, but I think that they thought they were a bigger suspect for the purloin, perhaps, than it looks like they were from the laser movement. Either way, Ryooo doubled gallery, and Lazybear takes it 3-1. That is not what you want out of your doubled venue, and now we're going into high rise, which Lazybear doubled, and has doubled against Ryooo before and been pretty effective at. Lazybear playing his Kane up 3-1 already here in the Platinum Finals in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I was just thinking about how it's a bad thing to go 2-2 with your pick, right? That shows you that there was like a bad pick, quote unquote.
Yeah, a slight disadvantage, certainly. Obviously, 3-1 is what you're hoping for. I will say, though, that I've occasionally doubled venues myself, not because I necessarily expected to get to 3-1. Some of your opponents sometimes are just too good for that, but because 2-2 feels like your floor, and that's okay, right? And that's how it works sometimes. Sure. That's a contact. It's going to knock out, I think, just wheels. Actually, I think Cowboy joined just early enough that they could have actually taken for them, and they weren't actually out, but Ryooo takes the low light anyway, so that's going to be 2 instead of 1 on high rise. We have a white flirt in the meantime, 31%. By the way, bug is on, purloin is on, fingerprint is off. We've seen a lot more of this. Purloin instead of fingerprint at even higher levels, and I like the change for the most part because AIs do not complete fingerprint often.
Yep. Take advantage of your green test percentage.
That's a good point. Yeah, I would say if you can hit green ATs over half the time, it's pretty much a no-brainer, although you can leverage that into difficults too, so it really depends on what kind of game you want to play, but we're seeing more and more of purloin after it really wasn't on much at all on high rise 3-5 in SCL5. I'll remind you again, this is like a standard match, except they both pick a second singled venue, so the winner needs 9 to win. And ties go to sudden death.
I will say, while the spies are sitting here, this actually means that restrictions have a lot less power, right?
Yep, that's right, because you're going to pick 2 venues.
And you're like, I think, guaranteed almost to be playing both of like, if you wanted to pick the restricted venue, the opponent restricts, you're almost guaranteed to play it, right?
Yeah, unless, I mean, you are guaranteed, yeah, because they can sweep you 8-0 on the doubles, and you're still going to start the restricted. So depending on whether or not yours plays first or second, and assuming you're even vaguely competitive, yes, you are going to get to play the venue they restricted if you want, and that is an interesting dynamic that does not necessarily apply in the normal matches. It's definitely different with these extended matches, and it's more of a stamina thing. You might see players break down at the end of these matches a little more because the mental fatigue is significant even in a shorter set, and in a longer one, it can be very significant. They can be like different players at the end than they are at the beginning. Maybe that's might be why it's important to run up a big lead, which Lazybear is trying to do right now. A spy win here would be absolutely devastating. We have 1 inspect visit. We're going on the far right of the venue where we're behind that screen, and I think part of the idea there is that maybe it gets missed and we don't get credited with full inspects if we don't go center next time. But we'll see. We could just do a boring softail finish like this. That looks like that's going to be the plan here. We still need 2 flirts, though, with a minute left. This could be interesting. We're going to finish the inspects. Contact's already done, and we're going to need 2 flirts in a minute, which means we're going to have to aggressively flirt after finishing the inspects. That could be very, very tough. Very, very tough, but I like this. So the standard softail game, Lazybear is saying 4-1 would be a really tough deficit for you. Do you really want to take it on an AI potentially shooting completes? Ryooo, however, is all over this twin, our seduction target for their statue visits. The drink take, the walk by the Amba, they flashed on them. I assume that exhale from Wodar means that somebody walked by the ambassador just now.
No, it was the leave by the ST. It was really unfortunate.
Yep, and we're right next to them now with 30 seconds left. We're going to get that flirt, and it's green, 82%. The worst flirt will not get this done, but we have to leave and come back anyway. This is very aggressive. We are interrupted, so it is a valid leave. We're going to have to go back and push this into overtime, probably while talking. The flirt cooldown's coming any second now. There it is. We're going to go back, and this will be overtime while talking. We're still flashing on Twin, though, and Twin is talking. There's the mission win countdown. When OT beeps, I think the Twin's going to get shot. I think Lazybear's going to win this. 3 seconds left. There's going to be barely any overtime at all, and if it does, is it going to be us or Twin? Doesn't matter. 2 seconds of overtime. Lazybear with the aggressive flirt and the softail finish. 4-1 Lazybear.
Yeah. Making a real statement.
That's really, really strong. And that's a spy game, too. Granted on high rise, so Ryooo could take this right back. They did win a spy game on high rise. Might have been 2, I'd have to check, in their previous matchup. Oh, boy. I'm out of breath, and we've only played 5 games. Imagine how the players feel. Ryooo now playing as Buns, trying to get back in this, down 4-1 already in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is just really strong from Lazybear. I like that decision right there. I think getting a flirt earlier would have helped a lot, but I like the idea of I'm going to make you take a very uncomfortable shot when you're already down in the match on my doubled venue, and it pays off. There were only 2 seconds of overtime, so Twin didn't get shot either, but there was just no way from the Lasers movement that we were going to be the shot in OT.
I really like that they still went for the aggressive flooding. Because I know like a lot of spies might just give up at that point. Because they feel like any kind of active movements will get them shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the right move. You never know, especially on these Softail variants, who's getting tunneled. And in this case, it wasn't the spy. We have an early flirt here, Ryooo does, and a visit statue. So we're halfway done with both of those. And it looks like we might play in the same kind of game. Of course, the big question is, can you go statueless or can you go silent? We haven't gone statueless, so we can still go silent. We can still try for a bug. We can still try for a purloin. And in fact, I think there's a decent chance that what Ryooo's going to do. I think they might be inspect, flirt, purloin. That feels plausible to me. Oh, that briefcase cancel. Oh, boy. Are we low light fishing against Lazybear? Does he want to reward it? The laser drifts over the hair but doesn't click. I wonder if that was being considered. We're watching the guest list very closely, by the way. We're going to use the briefcase cancel as an excuse to get close to our seduction target again very quickly, though. But we're waiting, wow, I think 10 to 12 seconds after entering here before actually flirting. We're being very respectful. It is high rise, but still. Another white test, 68%.
I'm going to call that a fake low light to make Ryooo think that he got the low light.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you hold your laser over there for a second, faking a low light can be very, very powerful. Makes a purloin much more likely if you're trying to bait the spy out. But at this point, I don't think we're enough of a suspect for it. Either way, we are moving back and forth. We're just bouncing between these conversations to try to get the flirt done. Seduction target follows us, but they're not going to be close enough to actually finish. So this is actually not worth that much, but we're going to take it anyway. It's going to be a white test, 85%. That's okay. That's okay. We still have a minute and a half left. Visit the statues. We'll complete that mission. And the purloin has come off, by the way, in the meantime, while we were bouncing back and forth. And there's the contact. We're not going to wait at all. It's a fake. No, it takes, and they take the shot. I can't believe it. I got so caught up in the flirt tracking. I missed the purloin entirely. And guess what? So did Lazybear. We were right about the purloin. That hung for a while, and the seduction target gets shot. Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, well, Lazybear didn't entirely miss it. Our seduction target was rejected just before us.
Yeah, and decides that is more likely.
And they were the ones talking during the BB.
Yeah.
Ryooo takes advantage of that entirely.
It was kind of I mean, in a sense, it was a 50-50, I guess.
Well, that's kind of what you're leaning into with the green rate and with the purloin, potentially. Ryooo gets it right back, 4-2.
I mean, literally, they could have both finished the exact same mission. Yeah. They both technically had, they could have had flirt, they could have had purloin and BB.
It's a scary thing. A scary thing to have a coin flip to go down 5-1 in the Plat finals like that. But you have to take those kinds of chances sometimes when you're down. Speaking of, Lazybear playing as Smallman now, up 4-2 on high rise. Purloin is off this time. Fingerprint is on in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. What a solid game from Ryooo. Got a little help from the party and jumped all over it and is back in this match. But remember, they didn't split gallery, so they're still down. They need to hold serve here. That's another green flirt from Lazybear after taking control. 51% with our seduction target, Salmon.
I was going to ask you, Track, is it a coin flip if you always lose the coin flip?
It's a good question. At a certain point, you got to take a look at that coin, don't you? Yeah, we're going to flirt timer here, it looks like, unless our seduction target leaves, and he's in the middle of talking. He might after a drink take, though. That's one thing to keep an eye out for. There's an inflection point every time they take a drink. They could decide to leave right then and there, and sometimes it helps to get a flirt in while they're taking that drink in case they do. But the seduction target, Salmon, just takes the drink, stays put, keeps chattering. We're going to take a drink, too. Try to look innocuous back here while we're almost entirely hidden by the occlusion of the other party goers. That's one of the benefits of Smallman. Might be helping for, I don't know, cheap purloin back there late, maybe just not seeing talking at all. But I tell you what, there's nothing scarier than seeing Smallman emerge from the back of a venue after a minute for the first time. Our seduction target has left, and we have too. Yeah, that's a scary moment, isn't it? When you say, wait, Smallman's in this party? Probably not in the Plat finals with the way these snipers are playing. I'm probably just exposing myself as a thoughtless sniper, and these two are anything but.
It's just like that moment in Alien, right? Smallman just bursts out of your chest. Like you were there the entire time?
All I'm going to say is that I've had some Smallman losses that sure felt like that. Lazybear is not going to bug on their way across the Ambassador. They are going to join with the double agent, though, and the seduction target's going to join potentially also, I think. Not bad. We are going to white flirt. We're going to take the advantage of it. It's just going to be just a white test, just 74%. We're still going to need to be moderately close in case the last one isn't green, but we're in pretty good shape here. 2 minutes left, and a lot of people are going for this briefcase, as a matter of fact. That's what you want when you leave fingerprint on. Might get a free AI shot.
Well, free in quotation marks. But what's the plan here? I feel like we want to get someone shot, but I don't know who.
Well, I think Lazybear is saying, let's see if anyone finishes prints. Let's see if anyone finishes statues. I don't want to make any decisions until I have to. Lazybear and Ryooo both use their clock quite a bit. Lazybear likes to finish late when they can, likes to watch the party. And you can see from the spy's camera, by the way, they are swooping around in this party, seeing who's incriminating themselves in the meantime. They're going to make a choice when they have to. That's a contact. It's a white test, which means we can't split. I feel like a split into bug there might have been really powerful from this particular angle, but the white test might have mucked that up. We're never going to know now. We are going to flirt right afterwards, though, and that's going to be 2 missions done with exactly 1 minute left. It looks like real contact highlights have come off. Duke, after that real contact, goes for a briefcase. I'm not sure there's even a print on it, though. It's been sitting there a while. I think there might be a fresh one, though. I think it was freshened, and there's going to be one of green bookshelves, too. I think Lazybear really would like for someone to get shot here, but they do have backup plans. They can rush bug if they need to, but Purloin is off. They cannot do that. Here comes the Ambassador by us. Could be an opportunity coming up. The Ambassador's in a very buggable position. We can get, there's so much occlusion here. If we bug going into this conversation, it could be a tough shot for Ryooo. That's exactly what we're going to do. Here it comes. We're going to go into the back. Are we dancing? We are dancing. We are aggressively dancing, and it doesn't matter. Ryooo shoots through the crowd. Without your shark, you're powerless, he says. And the Smallman cheese goes bad. Ryooo holds serve and is 1 game away from tying this up. What a shot.
That was a really good shot. It was. That we were behind wheels. He was like similar in height. If it was someone bigger, we might have actually gotten away with it.
Lazybear doesn't have the shark, but finds the next best thing. It's just a crowd of people while you're small, as a matter of fact. The key to that, guys, is not to panic because you've got 10 seconds. The key is look around, and the moment Smallman's highlight, don't let anyone jump in front of your laser and just take the shot. Aim is not usually a big part of SpyParty, but it came up right there, and Ryooo really needed it. That was Lazybear playing the Lazybear game, waiting for opportunities, and when the Civ doesn't get shot and there's nothing to piggyback on, just take the best thing you can, and that turned out to be the bug in the dance. Ryooo says no dancing, not on high rise. Ryooo now spying to come back and tie, possibly going 3-1 on their opponent's doubled venue like their opponent just did to them, as Cowboy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. That's a scary situation for a sniper in any game, let alone in this situation. We're going to take control, aggressively green flirt, and move around the conversation immediately to avoid being flirt paired. Not that it's necessarily going to be a big problem here. Ryooo, foot on the gas. Look at that. Emboldened, I think, by threading the needle on that last shot.
Ooh, going to get a fingerprint? Yeah, going to get a fingerprint.
Is that what it's going to be?
Pick up that drink. Yeah.
There it is. That's a drink print, I believe. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
That's what I'm here for, track.
Yeah, catching the print. Hey, I've got a lot to keep track of. I can appreciate it. And that is indeed Ryoo's least preferred method of fingerprint. Only 15% of their prints come on drinks. Almost half come on briefcase. But this is high rise. It's a little different. It's also harder to get away with.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's also much harder to get a fingerprint on a drink.
Much harder to get a fingerprint on a drink, and harder to get away with. Snipers do not miss it as much because there's not as much to watch here, but might be putting Lazybear in that same position that Lazybear put them in. Just a soft tail finish, maybe a silent game, who knows. With that first fingerprint, though, we have a lot of options, and we can still look around and hope an AI completes. This would be a pretty good time to take the contact if we... And that's exactly what happens. It's another green test. Contact done. Seduce 2/3 of the way done now. Fingerprint. There's the last flirt. It's a green test, 93%, because our seduction target is very far away from us. It would be really nice to finish there and try to rush a finish with 2 minutes left on high rise. It would have been very, very good if our seduction target was just a little bit closer, but they're not. We still have a lot of ways to go here, though. We don't have to cash this fingerprint in if we don't want to.
We intentionally moved away from our ST. But right. This
so
was
it looks...
part
Yeah,
of
it
the
looks...
plan.
So that's interesting. Between that and the aggressive first flirt, I think the idea was to not be flirt paired at all. Difficult fingerprint. It's a green! We hit the difficult fingerprint. Absolutely huge. And we pick up the highlight for it, though. We go slightly closer to our seduction target. These AI moves are so good. We've tried so hard to not be flirt paired at all, so we would not get shot for the fingerprint. There's the talk. The seduce is done. Is Lazybear going to shoot for this?
I don't think so.
I don't think they can. 2 seconds left. They're not going to do it. Ryooo ties it at 4. What a game.
Man, that movement at the very beginning was really critical for like not getting shot right there. Like
That's
they've
the
always
question.
been next to their ST.
That might be it. I mean, clearly, it looked like the plan there was, I'm going to bet this on Prince, maybe difficult Prince. That might have been deliberate. And I'm going to so aggressively be away from my seduction target that Lazybear's really going to want one more move out of me at the end, even if they suspect the fingerprint, which it seems like they did for that highlight. That is just an excellent spy game from Ryooo. The advantage given back. Look at this. Lazybear goes 3-1 on Ryoo's doubled venue gallery. Ryooo says, I can match that 3-1 on Lazybear's doubled high rise. And we've actually caught up to this match now. Yeah. A spectation game delay is in effect for competitive integrity reasons, and we're going to have to wait for that next game.
I would honestly be fine with them just, taking a break. Just, get up from the computer, shake it off. Shake it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off. I tell you what, I could use the break myself a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So I'll talk to chat. You can get some water.
I have my water with me. Don't worry. I'm totally prepared. So let's go over the remaining venues at least. Those are the 2 doubled venues, Gallery and High Rise, and we're all knotted up. So now it's just a shortened set. Now it's just 8 games on the single picks. It's going to be Ryooo, who picked Terrace NE3-6. These are 2 games each, mind you. Mm-hmm. Lazybear, Redwoods, which Ryooo did restrict in their previous meeting. Lazybear's picked it both times since. Ryooo then picks Moderne NE4-8. That's interesting. And Lazybear then Tien. So if this goes the distance, it's going to be decided behind the shojis, ladies and gentlemen.
I can pull out the shoji stats.
The shoji stats, yes. The small sample size shoji stats, which is very hard to say and even harder to draw meaningful conclusions from, but it's still a lot of fun.
I'll make it even smaller and only pick up platinum games. Are there like 4 platinum games on TN?
So it'll be 2 out of 4, 50%. Spies win 50% of the time. All right, it's going to be Terrace. They're about to get into this here. And it's going to be Lazybear and the Spy first, of course, playing Buns, it looks like. You guys all ready to go?
I'm good.
All right. 3,
I'm ready.
2, 1, playing it. And let's see here. Swap is off. That's pretty standard. Yeah. And Lazybear, in 14 Terrace games, has never completed Inspect or Bug.
Yeah.
So the question is it going to be Purloin or Fingerprint for the 3rd mission? Because it's probably going to be Contact and Seduce.
If you like coin flips, Purloin, this is like the best map for it, because you can always do the Delegate Purloin or Fake Delegate Purloin.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Always 50-50.
That's an excellent point. You really lean into that coin flip sometimes, and at this level, that's the kind of thing you got to do. But is that the kind of thing Lazybear wants to do? Check this out. On Terrace, has delegated only 2 of 6 times on the Purloin. 4 of 6 times, he's done the direct, so he's gone the other way. And just delegates, by the way, both of these players delegate, I say the Lazybear delegates significantly less than your average player. Most people delegate 70-80% of the time. Part of that has to do with the venue, of course. Lazybear, it's only a little over 60%. It actually almost perfectly matches their AT rate within a percentage point. We have a flirt done, by the way. It's a white test, 29%, but that's what you want to look out for here is the direct Purloin. Remember, they already did the fake green swap, and it induced a shot on Gallery. It would sort of be the same tenor of thing to do the direct Purloin to try to frame someone here, but we're going to hit a white contact every time, but the double agent leaves, and we know the double agent leaves because on Terrace, the sniper can see who the double agent is. They know who has a reel if they pay attention to it. Yeah. That might help or hurt us, though, on Terrace. The vagaries of Terrace and these Softel variants, that's the kind of thing that could help you as much as it hurts you. We're waiting for someone to go to bar, though, I think, to frame.
What's more unfortunate is that we got 2 hard low lights from that BB when we were expecting 1.
It's a great point. Great point. It's going to be Seek and Orange Dress are out. A highlight comes and stands next to us. Our seduction target leaves at the same time, though, and we have less than 2 minutes left and only 1 flirt in, 1 weak little flirt. We're going to go over and try to get a second one in there to give ourselves an option. Ideally, with the direct Purloin, you're obviously trying to frame someone who could be done, but you also want to be done yourself. You want to force it into a win either way, right? You want to have 2 ways to win, so to speak. Yep. We're going to get another flirt done. That's another white test, 63%. The green tests have abandoned us, and suddenly it might actually matter because there's only 90 seconds left on Terrace, and you normally think flirt wouldn't be a difficult thing to get done, but suddenly there is. There's suddenly a bar rush, however. It's going to be Green Dress, Queen, and Twin. But look at this. Green Dress takes a crazy AI path in front of the 2 of them. I don't think that's the one we want to frame. That was nuts. Do not frame Green Dress if Ryooo has noticed that. Let's see if Lazybear notices. Let's see if the Twin comes next to us. Bling Twin. No, goes the other. Oh, bar highlights too, by the way. Lazybear has been, I think they're looking for someone to frame because I don't think they can finish, and that's what they like to do on Terrace anyway. Here comes Queen. Will she be the closest to us? She's going to go and get a briefcase instead. Flirt cooldown has expired. We can at least finish that, but we're going to need a green test to do it. And if we don't hit it, there's basically going to be no way to finish. I don't know if we're going to try to regardless, though. Here comes green dress. Queen's right by us as well. We're actually not in a position to be delegated to by either of them. We're going to have to move. I think we wanted to red flirt there and then delegate. That would have been better. But instead, the seduce is done because we did hit the green, but there's 30 seconds left, and we're not in the same conversation as the double agent, so we can't even get to mission win countdown. If we want to go Purloin, we can't do it. We have to go next to Queen. We go between Queen and Bling Twin. We're going to make it look like a coin flip from them rather than us. We're going to green and get knocked right out. We're going to direct Purloin right here. Are we going to do it before 10 seconds, though? If we don't, then they're going to wait for OT, which will in fact happen because the contact took. Here it comes. The Purloin might be happening at the very end of the timer. There it is. There's the Purloin. Who gets shot? Who gets shot? Ryooo hasn't reacted. Have they seen it? 5, 4,
Yes.
OT, Queen shot. It works. Lazybear does exactly what we were discussing, and it works beautifully.
Down to the wire.
Down to the wire. The party came through exactly when they needed. It's a bar rush with a little over a minute left. Works out perfectly. And by the way, the two AIs who grabbed a drink without taking a crazy AI path, Twin and Queen, leave a slight spot open between the two of them. So Lazybear says, hey, direct Purloins can be a coin flip. I'm going to make it look like a very frustrating coin flip from the sniper side between those two. It's actually 1 in 3, though, when you look at it that way.
Well,
That is nuts.
we weren't quite between them. There was a low-lit scene
Oh, yeah.
between us and...
But does it get noticed?
Twin. That's true. And, like, what I love about that is, like, we created our own situation right there. We're like, okay, we'll just force ourselves into this in between them, get a BB, and immediately walk away. You know, that's like the in-between of, like, luck and creating your own opportunities.
No, you're right. That whole strategy looks totally different if you don't hit the green. But when you hit the green at this kind of rate, 61%, as both these players do, again, 1 and 2 in SCL green rate.
Well,
you
here's a question.
Game plan around it.
In chat pointed out, I was thinking that this whole time. The BB into fake delegate seems like it's a little too close together. Like a spy couldn't do those two things that quickly, right?
Well, here's the problem, right? There obviously is a speed at which it's too quick, but that speed is maybe what, a second, and how confident are you going to be between the difference between 1 second and 1.8 seconds, or whatever it is?
It was basically BB split. Like there was no time.
Yep. Well, remember, the person who split though is not supposed to be the one who delegated. So that's the idea.
Exactly. No, that's the problem. Because I mean, you couldn't BB and then do a second action test with the delegate, or no? I mean, there's no action test, of course, but there's
Well, yeah, you could green BB and then delegate.
Yeah.
But then there was no talking. Well, I mean, it's details.
There are small details, but like it gets lost, right?
I mean, it's just smashing the keys, and you're watching at that point. You're watching very, very closely, but that's the difference, right? It's a half second determines who maybe you're going to shoot. Lazybear has now baited Ryooo into shooting an AI twice. First with a fake green swap on Gallery, and now with a direct Purloin on Terrace. Ryooo, though, spying to try to keep it even again. As soon as they bring it back, they give it back. Playing as Orange Sorry in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. That was a minuscule, threadbare mission win. But it does take, I guess, technically a civ shot in the end, but let's be honest, that felt like a mission win. Ryooo, across from their seduction target.
I mean, it was a mission win.
White test.
We finished missions.
We got to countdown at least. It was a win, and that's all Lazybear cares about right here. They're up 5-4. Ryooo has an early flirt in. It's a white test, but we're pretty close, 30%. We're still going to need a green at some point, but given how these players have been hitting greens all season and in this match, I don't think that's going to be a big problem. Now, what are you looking for here if you're Ryooo? Bug? You have a very strong bugging character. There's a contact, by the way, in the meantime. Green test again, of course.
We could go for Bug. I mean, I feel like Purloin is just like so central to this map that you always want that option to be like the first thing you think about. Well, we can fingerprint also.
I tell you what, with Ryooo, it's not the first thing they think about because they complete contact the most, but it's pretty close. Purloin, their second most completed venue. They complete Purloin in 2 out of 3 Terrace games. And check this out. Ryooo favors Delegate overall almost 81% of the time, except on Terrace, where it's an even 50-50, 3 out of 6. So we might see the exact same kind of thing here. We might see some mind games then. You talked before, would a frame work after the frame just worked against you? Ryooo might have the same question on Purloin. Do I direct or do I delegate here? But it's probably going to be a purloin of some kind. We missed a flirt there. That's a red test. I don't know if the idea is to red test or not, if it's deliberate. Whatever it is, though, our seduction target goes to statues instead. And I think that might be the idea because Inspect is on, by the way, of course. Swap is off standard because now Terrace is 3-6 rather than 3-5, which took away all the fun mission choices we used to have. Now everyone just turns off Swap, and that's that, except at the lower levels.
I don't know, like I turn off Inspects actually, just because like I feel like they're the same level of difficulty to complete without getting shot.
Interesting choice. Our seduction target's moving around, and that might be the idea here. We might be trying to goad a lot of people into going to statues or bar, I don't know, but we are going to go to bar ourselves now with 90 seconds left. Contact is done. Seduce still a third of the way done, and I'm still wondering if that red flirt was deliberate or not, because on high rise with this kind of setup, you can actually make a good case for something like that. We do the delegate cheese. It's a twitch, and I think that was on screen. I think Lazybear's got him. Oh, yeah. He is following this spy. I think if we do pretty much anything, Ryooo is betting the game on the delegate trick. We're flirting. It's a green test, 81%. I think Lazybear might have caught that. This is big.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of risk to this trick and not much benefit. Because like everyone already is aware of this trick. So the only way that you really get away with it is if they like, never see you at the bar or something like that, so you don't have a drink in your hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. On the other hand, when the snipers are this good, by the way, we've delegated to the exact right person, though, our seduction target. So that's the idea. I think that red flirt earlier was intentional because we're delegating to the same person. Here it comes. It's purloined. It's down to 2. It's got to be down to 2. Lazybear reacting. 30 seconds left. No shots come off, though. What? General! We did not catch it. I was totally wrong on the laser movement. It was totally incidental. Look at that. It works. It's not either the spy or the person they were delegated to. I think we're so caught off guard by that, we just shoot General.
Yeah. I like General was at the bar right next to us when we did the delegate.
Wow. It works. Ryooo keeps giving up sniper victories and then taking them right back. We are tied at 5. It is 9 for the win. 8 guarantees you sudden death and guarantees cardiac arrest for most of the casting team, for that matter. Speaking of which, here it is. It's all occlusion from here on out. 4 games of Redwoods, 4 games of Tayen.
Nice. Most of the casting team, does that mean not me?
Yeah, no, you'll be fine. You're nice and chill. Kletos is relaxed. I'm the one who freaks out and loses my mind. Wodar will inhale so much, he'll create a gravitational pull. That's what'll happen. But Kletos will be fine. He'll calmly call 911 as we sit there silent. Lazybear, Bling Twin, Redwoods, we are tied at 5 and we're into the occlusion venues. The first one picked by Lazybear, the second one picked by Ryooo for platinum for the 15th ever spot in Diamond. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. So many trees. My God.
I love it. This is like this is the perfect number of trees. You can maybe use like 1 or 2 more.
I have to correct myself, by the way. There is a Modern squished in there. I forgot how long these sets are. That's going to be after this and then Tayen, sorry. But given how close this is, I do think it's going to be settled behind the Shojis. I kind of hope so. Oh my God. Lazybear with another green flirt at the start of this. Doesn't matter as much on Redwoods, but you'll take whatever you can get. Rushes can be very effective on Redwoods if you can 2-flirt, however. We are in a conversation with the Double Agent 2. The question is, how much early progress do we want to make? A rush might be effective here, but it's not really Lazybear's style. That might be why it's a good idea particularly, though. But they've had a lot of luck so far framing these AIs, watching the party, and taking their time as they like to do. And since they're undefeated this season, they're thinking, do I really need to change anything up? I don't think I do. Lazybear's just going to stay here, timer flirt, and I think if they hit that green and the double agent's still there, they're going to go ahead and contact and split. It's going to be a white test instead. That might change our plans. The branching narratives, the multiverse, changing everything there. White test, 85%, and it's going to be a white test on the contact too. So we're not going to be able to split. Splits can be very effective on Redwoods because you cannot get that mental snapshot. Who is in or out to sniper. Suction target leaves right afterwards though. Contact is done, and look at that. The SDA's out, and here it is. Ryooo again with the real contact highlights. We're going to go for this briefcase. We're going to cancel it as Queen beats us to it. We're not going to finish the seduction, though, right afterwards. We're going to go to this window, and this feels like a time ad.
Yeah, give me the time.
Time ad in front of the fireplace. Let's see, 2 minutes left. We might wait for the beep to go by. Beep, there it is. I don't think we're going to take it. We don't. We walk away, and we're going to finish this seduce, instead. We're going to want to throw a fake in there at some point if we determine that the SDA was out. I don't think Lazybear knows it, though. I think they've gotten a little unlucky with the SDAs, and Ryooo has pounced all over it twice.
Yeah.
Seduce done.
Yeah.
100%, 100 seconds. 2 missions done, both Softails. I don't think anyone's been to bar, very few people at least.
Ooh, green test.
Didn't need it, but we got it anyway. Might as well flex for the casting team.
Gotta pump those stats.
Gotta pump those stats. Oh, don't worry, we divide through regular and postseason, so this won't affect the regular season stats, but if you want to throw postseason in there, you'll get it. The greens have been absolutely on point today, too. Suspected double agent leaves, we don't know. We're still our seduction target. There's a minute left. It really feels like Lazybear wants to wait before they finish, and this visit's going to tell us what it's going to be, probably. We're going to a statue. This could be the start of Inspects, or it could be the start of Swap. Inspect immediately means we're not going to swap either way, but we could Inspect Swap for the finish. 1 statue. We can only finish at green books or red books now if we want to finish in 1 more statue visit. Teal beats us to the red books, and we immediately redirect. Great little move from Lazybear, but I think we would have rather had the inspects, but we're happy to let an AI potentially complete them or at least make Softail progress. 40 seconds left. Teal walks away. The red bookshelf is open, but we can't finish there. We can't inspect swap there. Here it comes. Yep. Inspect before picking up the book. That's a long delay to hit that inspect. Pick up the book. Other inspect goes through. We're going to have to dump the book, I think, with 20 seconds left. Is this going to be on screen? We're going to go back to blue shelf? No, we're going to go to windows. We're going to bug. We're going to bug on the way in. Ryooo sees the arm. It's not obscured by the tree. And Ryooo has the lead for the first time.
First time.
Except the very first game, which doesn't count because it's a sniper game. This is a real lead now. This is a real lead on Redwoods. This is not up 1-0
a sniper game?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. This is Redwoods, man. This ain't gallery. This is a real lead now after that 1-0. This is huge. This is late in the set. We are running low on time. That was another good game from Lazybear, but Ryooo just catches it. Honestly, you can get away with worse bugs on Redwoods, but it was guarded very well. Ryooo had the right angle. 6-5 now, playing as Smallman. Buckle up. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. If Ryooo wins here, they are in a great position to advance to Diamond. This is a huge game right now. Lazybear needs this, and they're going up against Smallman on Redwoods. Horrifying combination of words.
Do we just shoot Smallman now just to get it over with?
I mean, I feel like it's 50-50 if you do.
I mean,
and Smallman does get highlight.
Everything's 50-50 if you don't think about it.
That's right. It either happens or it doesn't, as they say. Always, everything's 50-50. That's my favorite stat of all. We bounce off this conversation a little bit. Ryooo cannot get the early flirt in, and that might change our plans a little bit because these players have been getting off early green flirts in all these games and finishing their flirt very effectively for the most part, except for that Lazybear high-rise game. And I imagine it's going to look very different if they can't rely on it. We're going to go idle in this conversation, try to lose however much heat you can actually lose as Smallman, which isn't much. We're going to immediately green time add twice at the fireplace as Smallman. We are seen walking away from it, and we're being watched, but I don't know if it's caught yet. The chronostasis, the time dilation, is going to start right now. Yeah. Lazybear is zoomed in on this ambassador, though, and I wonder if we might get away with it. I think the idea here is to extend this game. That's a reverse drive-by bug behind the back, behind the conversation, and even though Lazybear is watching this ambassador very, very closely, I'm not sure if they can do anything more than vaguely suspect it.
Yeah, that was basically invisible. I don't think there's like any real angle you could have had to have seen it.
So here's the question. With those 2 green time adds, the plan after idling in that conversation too is probably to just extend the game and get a civ shot. But now that you've gotten such a good bug, does your plan change? Do you want to finish, or you want to finish in a different way with the extra time? You want to stretch the Softails out maybe? Try a couple of prints that have been cooking, try some difficults. Not sure. Looks like we're going to go ahead for our seduction target. We're going to try to get the first flirt of the game done here with from what looks like 2 minutes on the sniper side, but is actually 3 from the spy side. That's a green flirt. There we go, 51% right before Cowboy leaves. We're going to pick up a delegate as well. Are we going to do the little jitterbug step and try to avoid taking a drink? We are not. We're just going to take a boring drink. Delegate's there. We can use it or not, but I don't think we're going to want to with the bug already done, hitting that green and extending the game as much as we have already.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the term incorrectly and say like we really want to go for the option select here from finding ends where we get close enough to finishing most missions that we could finish if we want to, but we really just want to get someone else shot.
I think you're right, and we did bounce off the conversation a little bit, and I think Lazy might have seen the difficult entry, but look at this. They're zooming in on the bug, which strongly suggests that if they do suspect it, they're not convinced it took. They're not positive on the bug, or they wouldn't be guarding it this closely. We have 2 flirted in the meantime. There are 2 minutes left. The clocks are catching up. The clocks are converging. 2 missions done, but only one of them's a soft tail. We can still contact here and have 2 minutes left to get 1 mission done on Redwoods for a potentially massive lead in the Platinum Finals. We're waiting on this contact. We're being very cautious here. The delegate timer has expired. I don't think we were planning on using it anyway. We're acting as if that bug is clean because it probably is. But the ambassador keeps walking by us. We don't want that. Get away. We're done. The seduction target too. Neither one of you, you arrowhead people, go away, except for the double agent. We still have not contacted, by the way. I think we're waiting to get more people in because a civ shot is still preferable. We are waiting as long as we can. There it is. Very few people are going to be out for it. Teal's going to get knocked out. The suspected double agent leaves just as we do it. It is a green test. 1.5 minutes left. 1 mission to go. This could be the most important minute of the match, depending on what happens next. Where are we going? Inspector swap. Or more time ad. We're right next to this little plant. We're not heading for the statue. Twin follows us. Gives us a little bit of an occlusion block. A little occlusion-y twin, maybe, to cover the time ad. We've seen that before in other SCL matches.
I was going to say, if the time was still dilated, I think we could have gone away with like a free green test time ad.
Maybe. Do we want to finish Inspector swap? Looks like we're going for a briefcase, but we get bumped by Sorry, and we're going to go to a center, not a center statue, a center bookshelf. Because flanked by statues, and we're going to get the inspect done, and we might just dare Lazybear to shoot us for a late inspect finish, and it doesn't matter. The game is so long. The twin gets shot. Ryooo gets away with the bug and the time ads. Ryooo up 7-5.
Nice.
Heading into Modern. Now, normally, you would think this is a tremendous, tremendous situation for Ryooo because he'd be going into Modern, and in the previous iterations of Modern, 5-8 was a sniper paradise, especially at high levels. And at that point, you'd be fine just trading sniper wins all the way down now with this slight lead. But it's not anymore. This season, it's 4 of 8. It's totally different. It's not 5, it's 4 in 3, 2, 1, planet. Here we go. Lazybear really needs the spy win, running out of time, playing his Teal on Modern 4-8. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge game right here. That last game, I don't know if that game was the biggest game. It might be. If Ryooo holds on, that was the biggest game. If Lazybear actually scores a spy win here, this will be.
So
that's the situation he's in.
You tell me if that game's a deciding game, then it's the biggest game?
That's right. That's right. Well, you got to look at turning points in the match, right? Which ones, in retrospect, were the most important? Right now,
it's always important, right?
They all count the same, but going up 2 on Redwoods, going up 2 on Redwoods, absolutely huge. By the way, Lazybear's pick, the maps, the venues rather, that players have picked, they've lost on almost every time so far. It's been really, really interesting watching this unfold. Marginal games, that's the way it goes. Lazybear, by the way, playing it slow again, goes to green bookshelves, puts the book back, does absolutely nothing, waits for the seduction target to settle, and I think we're going to end up right next to them here. Let's see if it's another green test. It is not. White test, 34%. Because we were idling a little bit in the beginning, that might actually matter, but with 4 missions instead of 5, not too bad.
This is going to be really bad for the draft stats.
You know what? When I have glanced at them occasionally, I've seen that, and again, especially the higher you go, the differences are so marginal that the picks seem to matter a little less than you'd think, but it's very, very opponent-specific, to say the least. Lazybear is going to leave and come right back, and we're going to go on the opposite side. This is the spy move. When you come back to your seduction target standing in the same place, you go on the other side, just to reduce the number of things that look identical. This time it's a green test, 73%. Slight camera shake from Ryooo on the sniper side. I think a little frustrated with the party behavior, possibly with these statue highlights, because they are highlighting for statues, and look at all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and General will make 7. I think Ryooo is regretting the statue highlights. When you decide to highlight for statues, this is what you're hoping doesn't happen. You're hoping there's not a run from the AIs.
Yeah. I'm going to say something really embarrassing here, but even with the spy arrow on the screen, I was still just staring at Smallman, because I was still assuming Smallman was a spy.
I mean, it's just a good assumption. I'm not going to talk you out of it. Lazybear is chilling out. What? Ryooo shoots Salmon. What happened? We have to go back and look at this again. Let me take a look at this.
Yeah, I've already looked at it.
Got it.
So at the very least, Salmon has. Here, let's do instant replay. Salmon has for sure inspect.
Yep.
He's got inspect. He's got possibly. He does a bug path right kind of near the end when he's walking to the bar. The drink has a fingerprint, and then he immediately picks up the briefcase.
Yep, that's it. It's the bug. You're absolutely right. It's just the bug, and the statue's done. Ryooo knew that game was getting out of hand with that camera shake. They knew having that many highlights could absolutely doom them, because with the 4 missions, one of those highlights just needs to walk by the ambassador the wrong way. It's salmon, and oh my goodness, Ryooo finally starts to pull away and again gives it back. Lazybear is getting Civ's shot, usually a little more actively, but that one was just passive. That one was just luck.
I'm really surprised we didn't wait for a BB.
Yeah. Yeah, what are they thinking they missed there? That was a little jumpy from Ryooo. I think Ryooo was playing with a lot of confidence and maybe it just went a little too far. If they were right, they would have all but guaranteed themselves victory.
Yeah, Salmon, I don't think Salmon had any,
Okay.
didn't do any sort of talking, so he technically couldn't have had flirt, but, you know, that's a hard thing to really pay that much of attention to.
This is like details again.
There's so much stuff going like back to back to back that you gotta go, okay.
Ryooo.
If this is the spy, I'm just really unlucky, and apparently they were just a little bit unlucky.
Ryooo, up 7-6 now, has to spy to maintain their lead on Modern in a 3, 2, 1 planet. Okay, well, I changed my mind. Now this is the most important game. This is the 3rd consecutive most important game of the match. And look at this, Ryooo coming out firing with a green action microfilm at blue shelves. That is super aggressive. They're hoping, and we can tell from the laser's movement it's correct, hoping that the sniper is still throwing out highlights, still doing housekeeping, still getting control of the party, and that just looks free. And by the way, we did it at blue, which means that at some point, that conversation between blue and green bookshelves is going to fill up, and there's going to be a lot of occlusion. So the hard part, so to speak, might be done. We are going to try to get a flirt done in the meantime. We're going to act as if we got away with this, and I think we're just going to plan 3 soft tells and the microfilm whenever that conversation fills up. We're going to bounce off 4 or 5 people before heading to bar here. We are going to get the flirt in. It's another green, 51%. Ryooo is playing with aggression again, not letting that Civ shot shake them. Here comes Queen leaving. And I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze in next to her for this flirt. If we do, it's going to look very awkward. She's sandwiched between the twins right now. Now, there is a little space, but it's going to start to look conspicuous. If we don't, I think we can stand close enough on either side, actually. And there we go. A spot opens up anyway. Ryoo's not interested in it, however. Just walks away. We were only at the bar for the flirt, I suppose.
If we get a white microfilm test, I would say like that's the most important miss of the game.
That will be a very big action test, depending on how much occlusion we have. And we're going to go into that green shelf. It looks like we're going to try to get this done earlier. I think we're going to try to do it before we get some kind of statue highlight, or we're planning on avoiding statues entirely. I think we're going to walk away with this book and try to come back when things fill up. So maybe go get contact and seduce done in the meantime, and then go back when that conversation fills up. But what if it doesn't? What if we get away with that blue microfilm and wait for the quote-unquote easy one to get blocked by that conversation, and it just never happens? Because there's a little over 2 minutes left, and no one is there yet. We are next to our seduction target. A flirt here would be really nice. There it is, green flirt. We're done already. 2 minutes left on the clock, and we're still waiting, I think, for that conversation to fill up. The only other thing we can do in the meantime before we put this book back is bug with the other arm or do a contact, and the double agent is out at windows right now. We're in with an SDA instead. Our options are actually very limited unless we want to put this book back and then go pick it up again later, which might be the plan. Here it is. We're going to make this happen on our own, maybe. No, we're going to walk around the entire conversation. I thought we were going to hang out there, try to attract someone, and get a little discussion started. Instead, I think we're going to microfilm at the far window and hope it's off screen. Here it comes. Here it comes. We're zoomed in. We're zoomed in on a statue visitor. We time it to Sorry picking up the statue. It's another green, and it is off screen. 90 seconds left. This book's going to go right back in. And the question is, though, do we have time to finish inspects, or is it going to be bug instead, purloin instead? Huge decision coming up. Even getting away with this microfilm, we spent so much time on it, as you often do with the animation microfilm, that it actually might be difficult to finish the soft tails even with the 2 flirt. Even with the 2 flirt, this might be close.
Oh my god, put the book away.
We're taking our time. We don't want to get caught on a broken animation after all that. This is so clean right now. We're in with the double agent.
To inspect.
Banana bread.
Here it comes.
There's the BB.
It's another green. It's a good contact. Very good contact. Sorry gets knocked out. Teal gets knocked out. You'll absolutely take it. 3 missions, 45 seconds.
I don't think we can inspect anymore.
I don't think we can. We really want the bug. We're looking at the ambassador, but the ambassador's at statues.
Why don't we just take the purloin?
We might have to. Where's the ambassador going to go? We're watching them. Where are they going to settle? This will determine our choice and maybe who goes to Diamond. The Ambassador is not in a great position. No, bad position. Bad Ambassador. Ryoo's going to have to swap here with 20 seconds left at a side statue at the far end of the venue. We pick up our road highlight. If this isn't guarded, we're going to be fine. It's a white swap. It's a white swap. Lazybear sees it and takes the shot. Ryoo loses after getting away with the microfilm. We're tied again. 7-all.
It might be just as bad, but I feel like we'd more easily get away with going for the direct microfilm. Direct purloin.
Maybe. I really feel like we're dead either way there. I think when we didn't get a good bug opportunity and when we didn't pick up an inspect earlier in the game to give ourselves options, I think if they get an inspect earlier in that game, they just win. The microfilm was clean. I don't even think it was credited. That was huge. Ryoo with another good spy game, but just didn't get the AI help they needed at the end. But that's the thing. When you dedicate half your game to that animation microfilm, and the animation microfilm takes a long time, it makes it hard to finish inspects, and it leaves you at the mercy of the party at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Lazybear sweeps Modern. It's 7-all heading into Taeyen. This is it. If either player wins a game, they will force at least sudden death. If one of them sweeps, they're going to Diamond. Here it is.
It's the biggest game of the set.
Until the next one.
Yes.
Lazybear as Buns on Taeyen in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh my goodness. Ryoo had this. Absolutely had this. All they had to do was snipe on Modern and they'd be in a very enviable position right now. They'd have already clinched at least a tie. We have bugged immediately and left immediately. Lazybear. Not lazy at the start of this game, not slow playing this time. Taeyen's a different beast. Lazybear's going to check their watch as well. Just admire the bug. 3 minutes still on the clock. The bug already done, but it's often being credited on Taeyen. So the question is, Purloin, Inspect, Fingerprint, there's so many choices now because the bug is done potentially so clean so early. At this point, I think you actually really want to be seen in non-buggable positions, so you're not credited. There is a chance that if you hang out front in very visible places over and over, you'll actually be one of the few characters who the sniper does not assume have a bug already.
Oh, I know that chat is waiting for this, but I have the stats.
All right, give me the Shoji stats. Give me the small sample size Shoji stats.
In Platinum, the sniper won on this setup 83% of the time. In 6 games.
Absolutely devastating, I guess. We don't have any flirts done yet, by the way. I think we deliberately... Lazybear might actually be doing what I was discussing, which is if I got away with the bug early, maybe if I hang out front, I can get a lot of mission progress done and never be suspected of it.
Just slow it down.
Smallman, by the way, is the SDA. That's an unfortunate little bit of luck here on Taeyen. Seek is the real one, and we're in with them, and we don't want to take it because I think at this point, with the Civ shots that Lazybear's been prompting, I think 3 of them, right? And that last game, very jumpy from Ryoo. I think we want as many people as possible in for the contact and in for the real in particular. So even though we could have taken the contact at any point in the last 40 or so seconds, we really don't want to until a couple more get in. We're probably waiting for Smallman too, even though he's an SDA. It'd be very funny if that ends up being what holds us back.
It's a risk, right?
It's a risk. It's a risk, but you can't assume it. The odds are low. We are going to finally move, but we're not going to be anywhere near the Ambassador, and I wonder if we're going to make a special point not to be anywhere near the Ambassador the rest of the game. But there's 90 seconds left on the clock, and the bug is still the only thing done. That's a pretty short window stay, and we're going to try to squeeze in next to General here, and we bounce off the conversation. We're going to be across from them instead. It is a small conversation, though, so even though we're not next to them, we get a pretty decent number here, especially if we green. But it's still going to be a 3 flirt. It's still going to be a 3 flirt. It is a green for 33%, so we're going to need another one at some point. We're going to need another green, but I don't think that... Lazybear says that's not a problem necessarily. What might be a problem is finishing missions. What might be a problem for Ryoo is holding their shot if they don't. Ryoo highlighting these statue visitors, zooming in, watching for swaps, zooming in, watching for purloins, guarding so many different things. There's a time ad in the meantime, by the way, and Ryoo looked very, very distracted. It was a white time ad, and I don't think we're suspected for it. I think we've only really done 2 things, a bug and a time ad, and I think we've gotten away with both of them completely. I think purloin might be our best bet, but Lazybear disagrees, at least for now. They're going to reject and hang around in the back. Again, nowhere near the Ambassador. This is starting to look very conspicuous and deliberate to not be near the Ambassador after that rush bug.
Hey, that's where Checker lives, right?
Red.
Here we go. There it is. Contact, white test. We're going to knock out Teal. We were waiting for a good contact. We finally got it, and Ponytail gets shot. Lazybear induces another Civ shot with the time ad, waiting for the good contact. Lazybear wins again. 3 in a row, 8-7, and now Lazybear will snipe for a spot in Diamond. Ryoo has to hope for sudden death at best after being up 7-5.
Let's go, Lazybear.
Here we go. The 5th consecutive most important game of the match. And this time, though, I feel pretty confident saying it, because any games that take place after this one are not normal games, which we'll get into if necessary. Ryooo spying to save their season, playing as White Dress on Taeyen in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We could be seconds away from Lazybear becoming the 15th person to ever enter Diamond. The Plat finals have been insane 3 years in a row now. So competitive. It's an immediate bug from Ryooo. Again, turnabout is fair play. Already done. Ryooo has been so aggressive at the start of these games, but has had trouble cashing it in late, as we've seen. And I can't imagine that's going to be the problem this time, though. They're not going to let it happen again, I don't think.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. The real double agent is not with us. It's Kane. The SDA is Twin. We're next to our seduction target. We've hit the green flirt there. It's Smallman. We're definitely going to make sure Smallman's not cast this time as a seduction target. It's the only way you can be sure other than playing him. 51%. And I think Ryooo might just force the difficult shot. But look at this briefcase and look at the Amba putting Prince on the green shelf. We might want to go Prince instead of Inspects. There's another flirt after the timer goes down. It's a white test and a stop talk. 85%, and that's going to change our options just a little bit. Double agent takes the case. Ambassador puts the book back. That's very significant because now there's a print on green and it might hang out there for a while. Ryoo's going to leave, go to the other conversation, hang out for a little bit. Are we just breaking up this flirt? Are we going to go rush this flirt right afterwards? Ambassador puts another print on a side statue now.
God, so many prints. Like, it's like a statue print isn't as good as another print because it looks like you're expecting.
Oh, this is really unfortunate, by the way. Kane, the double agent, is now going to get that print after already picking up a briefcase. If they were non-cast, they'd be done with prints. Ryoo's going to stand across from their seduction target here, finish the flirt. 2 missions done, 2 minutes left. And look at this, green dresses at center statues. Ryooo has to notice and has to keep her in for this contact. Seduce is done. If green dress gets in, we could force that difficult shot from Lazybear. DA.
Oh, God.
DA not joining. Green dress is in with the SDA, though. I think you got to take your chances here. Got to do it. Nope, SDA switches. We're going to go to center statues right after green dress. We could fake the swap here. We could fake the swap. This could be about to end. We're going to have to swap right away. If we do, it's going to be an Inspect instead. I think what we're going to do is try to finish Inspects and hope you can BB with green dress and force the coin flip for platinum. It's just going to be one Inspect. One Inspect. So that we can finish Fingerprint, I think. No? No. We're not going to go finish Fingerprint and Inspect. Or start Fingerprint and finish Inspect, rather. We're offered a drink. There's a minute left. Every decision we make from here on out is crucial. We're going to take a drink so that we can't be suspected of this bug, I think. But what can we do without our hands free? I think we're just going to try to get green dress shot, but we need a backup plan if it doesn't work. She is done with Inspects, and she is highlight for it. 50 seconds for a spot in Diamond.
Please, baby.
Here's the contact. We get it. Green dress is in. We're the one shot! Lazybear into Diamond with 4 straight wins at the end of the Platinum Championship.
Wow. What a shot.
Must have suspected something there. I maybe suspected them for the actual early bug. That's the only thing I can come up with, is that actually maybe caught them for the bug. Let's take a look at that initial bug. Let's see from the sniper side if we can.
Yeah, a little bit of the arm snapback is visible.
If that's the case,
Lazybear. It's
there it is. No, it's on.
Catch.
No, you're right. You're right. If they're guarding it, that might be it. That means that Lazybear might have waited.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was like as Taft was bending over.
Lazybear might have waited. Lazybear might have waited 3 minutes for confirmation, knowing they're probably about to enter Diamond. Yeah. Ryooo was up 7-5, and Lazybear sweeps Modern, sweeps Taeyen. Welcome to hell. You're in Diamond now, Lazybear. My condolences / congratulations. Ryooo was very close to taking that home.
Ryooo could very easily be falling right behind.
He might. That's what happened last season. Last season, Ponoob defeated Urand in the Platinum Finals, and Urand followed shortly in the Hazard match. And there were quite a few drops that turned out as well, and that could happen again this season.
And these two have to play again.
They do, with either higher or lower stakes, depending on how you look at things. But boy, what a match! The snipers started off totally on point, but at the end, they were framing civilians left and right. Lazybear does it, I think, 3 or 4 times in the end. The sniper started strong, and the funny thing is, I don't think they played that badly. Some of the frames were excellent. The only one that I feel maybe a little rough was that silent Modern shot on Salmon from Ryooo that started That started the losing streak at the end. Lazybear comes all the way back after being down 7-5, takes Platinum, takes the spot in Diamond, and will take a slight seeding advantage now into their next match. Their next match will be the postseason match, and the winner will face Durand in the semifinals with a chance to win it all.
Wait, this is the postseason match? Or like, this was the postseason match, right?
It's all still after season, yeah. This was the first postseason match, depending on how you want to look at it. But they're going to play again shortly, and Lazybear will have a slight advantage going into that. But Ryooo could have lost this match and still win the championship when all said and done. But they're going to have to get through Lazybear. They're going to get through Durand after that, and then they're going to have to get through one of several other players, myself included. And we'll see if that happens or not. But Ryooo, at the very least, has to come away from this match knowing that they can beat Lazybear if they didn't already.